If any of you guys have played PvP at the end of this season, you'll have noticed one weapon making a resurgence: Forerunner. It's been rampant in trials, especially for those longer range maps like Eternity, where it truly dominates. And it's so good in regular Crucible as well. It got a recent buff to its special ammo economy whereby you now start with 8 in the magazine, which is much more forgiving. One of the hard counters to Forerunner, which is sniper rifles, are also gaining a flinch nerf next season, so I do not see Forerunner going anywhere. It's going to be a big part of the meta, especially on longer range maps going into Season 18. Now, I've been using Forerunner with a variety of setups and a variety of energy slot weapons to see which weapon pairs the best with it, and I think I found a crazy combination, guys. Like, I've never enjoyed using Forerunner before, but this specific perk combination on the second weapon with Forerunner feels unreal. Before I go into what pairs well with Forerunner, both weapon-wise and build-wise, let me explain why Forerunner is so lethal. Now, Forerunner, for those of you that don't know, is a strange special weapon that behaves more like a primary weapon, as it cannot one-shot kill an enemy. It takes 3 headshots to kill a Guardian, but it can do this across significant range, roughly 54 meters to be precise, before damage drop-off. Think of something in between a pulse rifle and scout rifle before damage drop-off. It fires at 200 RPM, and so it can 3-tap in 0.6 seconds. Yep, you heard that right, 0.6 second TTK. That's faster than a Peace of Mind, that's faster than a Jade Rabbit, heck, that's faster than a 2-burst from things like No Time to Explain or Messenger. And this is a seriously lethal TTK at serious ranges. What makes the gun even better is it has such a forgiving accuracy cone and such massive aim assist. Literally everything in that massive circular reticle you can see on the screen counts as a headshot. Because it feels so good, on the odd occasion where you do accidentally pull it out on slightly closer ranges, it doesn't feel awful. Like, try firing a Jade Rabbit from 20 meters away. It's not a great experience, but this gun manages it alright. Now, I know for those extremely long range duels, scout rifles, especially 150 RPMs, will probably manage better, but 54 meters of range covers most engagements in Destiny 2. Literally. Now let's go into what weapons I tried with this gun. So obviously you want to pair Forerunner with a short range weapon, something that's going to shred within 0 to 20 meters reliably and consistently. For the energy slot for legendary weapons, this primarily leaves you with sidearms and SMGs. For me, the 3 best options were Shayura's Wrath, Drang, and Forgiveness. And let's go over each one of them. Now, Drang is a phenomenal sidearm in its own right and works well with most long-range weapons because it's probably one of the best sidearms in D2, period. You could pair Drang up with anything because of its zoom value, making it an outlier in terms of range. And if you do decide to use Drang and are on Hunter, the double sidearm synergy with Mechaneer's Trick Sleeves is an obvious build. Mechaneer's has 2 huge benefits. It passively grants 50 airborne effectiveness, 100 handling, and 100 reload speed to sidearms. And then its main perk, whereby upon readying a sidearm while at critical health, it gives a whopping 35% increased damage in PvP. Now, these are significant benefits and I don't want to undersell them, but given that there are so many other powerful exotics at the moment, Omnioculus, that benefit neutral play so much more, or if you're not a hunter main, then this won't be helpful at all. I wanted to avoid shoehorning my exotic to a sidearm specific benefit. Drang is a great option, but it didn't particularly do anything extra with Forerunner per se, without focusing an entire build on it. The perk which works insanely well with Forerunner was Harmony. Now, Harmony provides a 30% damage buff when you get a kill with your other weapon, in this case Forerunner. Often in trials I'd be peppering someone with Forerunner far away, and by the time I killed the person at long range, the second person on their team would be rushing me to close me down. So Harmony helped significantly with that. It makes your close range weapon, in this case, a monster. Both Forgiveness and Shayura's Wrath have Harmony as a possible role. Now, Forgiveness I tried, and it's a 2-burst aggressive sidearm with a TTK of 0.73 seconds. So for me, if you're a sidearm nut, then I can't really justify using Forgiveness over Drang, given Drang's TTK and better range, even with a Harmony roll. But some of my PvP friends absolutely love this sidearm, so if you can get it to work for you, then be my guest, it will be lethal with Harmony. What I found to be my favourite weapon, in fact, to pair with Forerunner was Shayura's Wrath. Shayura seems to meld the best of both worlds. On its own right, it's a fantastic weapon, the best 600 RPM SMG, heck, probably the best SMG in the game right now thanks to its zoom value and adept range. This meant that if I was dueling someone close range and already had Shayura's out, it didn't matter. It's a great weapon in its own right. But if I'd killed someone else with Forerunner, then I would switch to Shayura's in harmony with Activate, and I could then gain a damage boost, and now my 23 headshots would hit for 27. The TTK would drop to 0.7 seconds from 0.8, and this felt way more comfortable when reacting to a second person rushing you. Now, build wise, I've already mentioned Mechanier's Trick Sleeves, which most people already know about, but the build I'd rather focus on for this combination is Top Tree Dawn. Top Tree Dawn with Heat Rises paired so incredibly well with this build. Heat Rises made it so incredibly easy to get picks with Forerunner from an unsuspecting aerial angle in so many rounds. Just don't overuse it because it does become predictable when you're in the air all the time. Grenade wise, I chose Healing Grenade, which has a short cooldown and can be doubled up for healing yourself. Class ability wise, I used Phoenix Dive, which activated Classy Restoration and allowed me to get out of bad positions from Heat Rises. Even when Classy Restoration is over, Phoenix Dive will activate Restoration ×1. Depending on how often you go aerial, if you prefer more grounded plays, then Healing Rift may be a better option. For aspects, we already mentioned Heat Rises, but you definitely want Icarus Dash as your second option for a mobility and dodge option, allowing you to dodge away from bad aerial positions. Fragments wise, I had Ember of Searing to allow me to get more recovery in my build, Solace for longer duration of restoration and Radiant, Ember of Beams for daybreak tracking, though if you're using Well of Radiance for things like Trials for the faster cooldown, you could choose another fragment with a better stat boost of your choice. Finally, Ember of Torches so that when we use our melee, Celestial Fire, we can become Radiant, which can stack with Harmony for even more damage. Stat wise, I highly recommend 100 recovery and 100 discipline so that you can spam Heat Rises and your class ability as much as possible, and recovery is a great stat in itself for PvP. Then I'd prioritize roughly 5 mobility for decent strafe speed with Forerunner, which helps a ton when you're sort of sidestepping and trying to out-duel a scout rifle, and then a reasonable amount of strength, intellect, and resilience in that order. So that's it for this video. Try out Forerunner with Top Tree Dawn and a Harmony primary weapon. You will not be disappointed. If you enjoyed what I talked about today, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more upcoming videos as we delve into Season 18 and Arc 3.0. I'm Mr. Ronit, and that's it for today. Peace out, guys.